Hey guys, in the previous videos I talked about the theories of Marxism and specific narratives in moral and political philosophy. Today I'm going to give an introduction to epistemology, which is a branch of philosophy identified with knowledge and what it is to know, how can we know, and what are the main concerns or paradigms concerning epistemology. Like what are the things we need to study in terms of epistemological philosophy. And in order to talk about epistemology, you have to talk about what it means. The Greek term episteme means to know, and in philosophy what we're really trying to understand to know is what we call propositional statements. For instance, a statement like, I know how to ride a bike, that's not really a question philosophers generally investigate. I know how to ride a bike is called acquaintance knowledge. It's something you're able to do, and there's not like a methodology in which you can study that subject. So that goes away, and then there's like other types of knowledge, like ability knowledge. I know how to ride a bike well, and that itself is not a propositional knowledge. That's just something you're able to do. What we try to study in philosophy is a statement like, the sky is blue. This is what constitutes philosophy of science and studying things within the purview of looking at the natural world and try to investigate it, understand what it is. And there are three competing theories. One is rationalism, which had its beginning by Plato, and then the modern thinker René Descartes grounded rationalism in something he called a priori, independent of experience. So there are universal principles that no matter where you are, you can discover through logic, deduction, deductive, inductive reasoning. And to Descartes, the source of knowledge was reason and rationality. We discover things through universals, through things out of necessity. I think about the idea of love, and through my thinking I can ground it. But then there's this other guy founded empiricism, Locke. John Locke founded empiricism, and empiricism grounds knowledge in sensory data, in looking at things and observing and formulating hypotheses and trying to recognize that knowledge is only accessible through sense data and experience. And empiricism itself has various discourses, constructive empiricism, and Locke said the only way we can generally know about the natural world is through our experience. This is what he called tabula rasa, the blank slate. When we are born, our mind is a blank slate, and our experience makes up our knowledge. But these two theories are very competing. Like, a rationalist says whether you're in Mongolia or Somalia, you can discover the same truths. But an empiricist like Locke and Hume would say that no, your experience makes up your knowledge. And if you've never been exposed to ideas of deductive logic, you'll never be able to discover it. And these are two competing theories. But there's another guy who just was a man of unprecedented intellectual acumen, Immanuel Kant, who came in the midst of this and proposed his theory of Transcendental Idealism, in which he said, let's think about our faculties. Maybe it's not our mind, maybe it's not the natural world that we formally experience from. Maybe our minds impose certain governing themes in the natural world. This is what he called, our minds have faculties and pre-existing cognitive architecture that through those we impose our own conception of reality to the natural world, which means that it's something between rationalism and empiricism. His book, Critique of Pure Reason, he said that he made a distinction between intuition and concept. He said an intuition is something that, like space. He made a distinction between intuition and concept, in which he said concepts can have categories. Like when you think of a car, you can have a Ford, you can have a Chevy, you can have a Toyota, you can have a Bugatti Veyron. A car has many different variable examples that would constitute a car. But something like space and time, these are concepts. There's just one unitary conception of space that we have, that no one would say this specific space. We would just say space, because it's something that's wired into us. It's our faculty, and that was idea for Kant. Like space, time, and causation, these are things that our mind allows us to have access to, and this is just the introduction. And yeah, thank you.